Can you hear us?
Nope.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Woo,
we can
it.
hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rock on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we
we
can hear
got
you.
you now. Here we
Ah.
go. Woo!
we're here. We did it.
So like I was saying, the
Okay.
MonsterVerse's #1 fan, what's going on, man? How's everything?
What's up, brother? I'm good. I'm doing good.
So for those that don't know, this man right here, tell us, why am I telling the story? This is ridiculous. Sir, so
I want to hear your version.
yeah, I don't even, yeah, my version doesn't matter.
I want the outside perspective because I it's one of those things that you could never see yourself like out in the world or see what people think of you. Maybe I don't want to know what you think, AJ, but
No,
but-
dude, it's
Everybody wants to know what AJ thinks.
right.
Like
right.
we're kind of going through like the same thing, with
We are
doing
on
figures that
different ends of the spectrum.
yeah, but it's all still connected though, so it's freaking awesome. But yeah, man. So tell us, how did this Kaiju Cream? How did it all take us from the very beginning? How did this happen?
I mean, I want to say it was an accident.
A happy
As-
moment.
as
That's what I'm
most
talking
are.
about.
A well constructed accident, in a way. I'm not going to go into all the story because it's a very long story, but
No.
there's
We
just several-
got at least an hour. Go ahead. Give us the
Well,
longest
hit us.
version you
Hit
got.
us.
there was lots of things happening in my life simultaneously. I'm a tattoo artist. If you don't know and you're watching this, and ended up with a pinched nerve in my neck, and I kind of lost the use of my arm for a couple of weeks. I kind of pushed through it, but I was having a lot of numbness issues, and I was at this point where I was like, am I going to be able to continue with my career? I've been tattooing for 16 years. I
Oh
have
my
two
God.
children. I've spent a lifetime doing art, building, becoming successful, and that happened, and this was about March 2 years ago, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do? I have no idea what I'm going to do. And around that time was Godzilla versus Kong was coming out, and
Yes.
no. And
So remember how you said you're not like, there are some people that don't like Godzilla vs Kong?
Yeah. No.
There we go.
yeah, bro. Let's not talk.
Anyway, we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that.
Anyways, like my older daughter was like, "Oh, you love Godzilla, Dad? Let's watch Godzilla vs Kong." And I was like, "Okay." We watched it together because it's like I grew up watching Godzilla with my grandma. Like that was like, it was just part of my childhood. It was just ingrained.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
of my grandma, I think of Godzilla. It's weird, but that's just the way it is. Like
I think everybody's
why I have
got
a love
something
for
like
it.
that.
Yeah, totally. So that happened, and I watched it, and I wasn't like, I was like, what? For AJ's sake, I'll just be like, yeah, it was cool. But, I mean, I wasn't in love. I wasn't in love.
Did
but,
your daughter enjoy it?
She did. She liked it, and at that time, HBO had released a bunch of older Godzillas like onto the
Mm-hmm.
onto TV and stuff, and so I was like, oh, we're gonna go through and we're gonna watch some of the old ones, and Son of Godzilla, some classic stuff, stuff that I thought like, oh, maybe my kids would enjoy this or find it funny too, entertaining, and it's just something we started doing. We just started doing it together, as a family. I'd sit down with both my daughters and we'd watch it, and it's like, oh, that one was boring for an hour, or
Mm-hmm.
and so we did that, and during that time, and me kind of like, rethinking my career and kind of having a little more downtime, I just started drawing. I started drawing all the time, and I was having one thing about pinched nerves is when you have a pinched nerve in your neck, the pain is like tenfold at night. I don't know why, but something about the end of the day and laying down, you cannot sleep. So I was getting about 2 hours of sleep a night. I just couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. It's like if you think about like root canal pain, like imagine that in your arm. You
I
know, and
recently
you
broke my
can't
collarbone.
Okay.
And I can completely relate to that kind of a pain. It was terrible, terrible. 2 hours of sleep was generous.
Yeah. So, what do I do if I can't sleep? I'm an artist and I'm drawing, and so I'm watching all these Godzilla films, and I'm watching them with my daughters, and as a tattoo artist, I was like, I've always wanted to do a Godzilla tattoo, and I've never done one. And every tattoo artist I know, it's like, hey, you have you ever done a Godzilla tattoo? And they're like, no, but I would love to do one. And I was just like, okay. And so I tend to lean more towards like traditional American style tattooing. That's what I love. It's what I started falling in love with when I got into tattooing. And I was like, there's just not a lot of traditional Godzilla designs. Like, every time I see these Godzilla tattoos, like something more realistic, or it's like they're pulling it from a movie or pulling it from a reference. And I was like, you just go hog shit with this stuff. I mean, like, there's so many monsters. There's a million kaiju. It's like I could draw them 10 different ways. So it's like
Yeah.
only getting 2 hours of sleep a night, and kind of falling back into this world with my daughters, and kind of rekindling my love and the things I loved about it. I was like, wow, if I only, my arm's starting to heal, and I thought maybe I had another 15 years of tattooing in me. What if I only have another 2 years of tattooing in me? Like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
do? Like, I don't want to go, work at Walmart. Nothing against working at Walmart, but like,
No, I feel you.
I have 40 years of skill set that I've curated
Yeah.
and poured my life into it and made.
And it's just
it
possibly
came from
taken away.
the bottom, and the thought of losing that is like, well, I have to be able to put that in somewhere. I have to be able to do something with it, anything with it. And I was coming up with all these designs, and some of these designs I was using my daughter's kind of like a soundboard. I'd be like, what do you think about this? And I'd be like, oh no, that's silly. Or what do you think about this? Oh yeah, that's cool. Or,
For reference, how old are your daughters?
my daughters are 10 and 7. At the time,
Perfect
they were
age.
5, 5 and 8.
Perfect age. Perfect age for that to give their opinion.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah, I'm
like,
not afraid to
they're
hurt your
honest.
feelings.
They're
Like,
no,
it's trash,
no,
Daddy. You're like, all
they're
right.
brutally honest. They're brutally honest. They're like, if I do something and they don't like it, it's like, oh man, like I'll work so hard on something. I'll be like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. They'll be like, no, Dad, like,
Nah, this isn't working.
I went to
um,
come down here to like set up, and Abby literally like is at the kitchen table, and like she hears the door open, and she's just like, "Are you gonna go play video games?" It's like, yo, I'm trying to work right now. Like, leave
Yo,
me
who
alone.
are you?
Yeah, I was like,
Who are you?
and if I wanted to, what are you gonna do about it? Like, go to bed.
yeah. So I mean, that's sometimes that's the best thing you got, because
It's
like,
humbling. It's humbling.
I know they're gonna be honest with me. I know they don't just see my cool facade. They're like, oh, your dad, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like Homer Simpson to them or something. So that happened, and so I was coming up with all these designs, and I was getting heavier into collecting Sofubi and toys, and I had toys around my whole life, and it was one of those things. Is like when I was a child, the two things I was most passionate about was drawing and toys. And the first, maybe I was around 3 or 4 years old. I started drawing things. Definitely by the time I was 6 years old, I was drawing all the time. But I was drawing my toys. That was like these famous artists drawing still lives. Like, my toys were my still lives. So I was drawing toys. I was drawing Mario Brothers. I was drawing video games and Metroid and all the things from the 80s and the 90s. And it's like all the stuff is popular now. It's like that's what I grew up drawing and falling in love with, those toys. It was a golden age of toys. And so I said to myself, I was like, man, what if I took one of these things and just turned it into a toy? What if I took a tattoo design and I turned it into a toy? Like, that would be cool, right? And that was like, I was like, that's a 10-year plan for me, right? It's like, I was like, that sounds like a 10-year goal, right? Like, if I could squeeze in maybe within like 10 years, like, So what I did was, I was looking around and I saw these guys, Last Bastion, and around this point, I don't know. I was starting to put feelers out there. I was kind of like looking into people's stuff, and I talked to Chris from Last Bastion, and he's like, "Well, if you're interested, I think we could make something work." And I was like, "Really?" I sent him an email, totally expected him to be like, "Yeah, this is not possible. You're crazy. Uh, you good luck in 10 years." Like,
Yeah.
and he wrote me back, and it was all positive. He was like, "Yeah, this is cool. I love the idea. I think it could work. It has a lot of potential." And I was just like, "Oh, I guess I gotta do it if I'm gonna do it. I think these are the guys that can help me." And that was 2 years ago last week. Exactly 2 years ago last week was
Happy
when I
anniversary.
thank you. It's when I sent Chris the email, and it's been it's 2 years is a long time to roll around an idea. I'm an artist where it's like, I have a client come in, I'm drawing usually for them like the night before. I start to finish a piece, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then it's done. That's it. It's gone. It's out of my life. I might never see that person again. I don't.
Yeah.
I have clients that travel. Who knows if I'll ever see them again.
Yeah.
So for me to sit inside of a project and I have to make all the decisions, and there was probably a point in there where I really sandbagged for like 3 or 4 months, and I really kind of drug my feet and questioned whether I should even keep, like, why in the world am I doing this? I don't need to do this
Did you
for a
feel
job.
like,
I don't.
did you ever have that feeling like, should I be doing this? Like, can I even really fulfill this? Because I know, like, I feel that way a lot.
Yeah.
About a lot of things. Like, I'm just like,
Absolutely.
I'm confident I know how to do something. But then you're just like, do I? Do I really know what I'm doing? Like, is it really, like, something that I can do?
For me, I just always need to be thrown into the fire.
So,
Like this show. It's like, hey, put all these layouts together in an hour. All right.
I got this. Some people thrive on that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you really were just like, can I do this? But then you really like pushed forward and pushed through it all.
I try to, the things that I'm good at 2,000%. And I try to know and understand the boundaries of the things that I'm good at. And that's how I become successful is by having a talent and using it. And I've been doing that for years. I can do that. But whenever I approach something that I've never done before, it's just like anything else. It doesn't stop me. I still do it.
Yeah.
But there's a disconnect between your brain and reality sometimes, and you can, it can be your dream and your passion, and you can love it and you can live it in your head, and then when it gets to the real world, like, does that translate? Do people see the same thing that you see?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a bigger gap there than you realize, because you're just so in love with what you're doing. You want people to believe in it as much as you do.
Yeah. Do you ever find it disheartening when people don't? Like, does it ever like take you back where you're just like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that? Or do you just feel like, you know what?
I don't listen to people anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't get to where I am in life by listening to people that like Singular Point. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of went off in my own tangent, and it's completely worked out for me. So, like you don't like.
I wanted to show off this cool thing, but now you gotta take shots. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so that's the original flash drawing I did. That's the original design I did, and it was, when I drew that, it was meant to be a tattoo design. It was meant to be tattooed on somebody.
So is that actually what you sent Last Bastion in the email, or did you not even have a concept yet? You were more in the email. You were more just floating up the idea.
No, that was the first thing I showed him. That was the exact first thing I showed him, because I was like, so I have a very distinct style. I think, people that follow me online or on my Instagram know my tattoos, know my designs, and they see that and they say, oh, OCTEEL did that. and I was like, I told Chris, I was like, if we're gonna do a toy and it's gonna have my name attached to it, it has to feel like something I would put out inside of maybe my, I don't want to say I'm a brand, but like inside of what I do.
No, you can call it your brand. That's your brand.
Yeah, people have to see it and say, oh, OCTEEL did that, right? Not like, oh, that's just a cool toy over there. Somebody did that toy. And so it was for me, a lot of it was, how do we get that same feel and then translate that into a real world thing? How do we make that tangible?
I mean, this is AJ showed me this and I was like, this is sick. I love it. It's such a cool. I just love it. I love the whole concept behind it.
And there it is in life.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Did I skip an image here?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know.
Yes.
I gave you several images, but you didn't.
Yeah. Why did it skip one?
Because you don't know how to use the program.
Yeah, I mean maybe. Yeah, supposed to go to this. I wanted to see the tattoo first.
So that's somebody got it tattooed. Somebody came in and was like, "That's amazing. I love that." And
look, man, just because you tattooed yourself, okay?
I mean, you can say it's on me, but it's a good tattoo either way. So
it is a good tattoo. Yeah, it's. I mean, I have a lot of friends who have a lot of tattoos, and some of them are not as good as others. This is incredible, though. No, it's.
So that's to show you the idea of, like, it was a tattoo design for me, and that's how it translated into a tattoo for me. So my most of the stuff that I'm drawing and I'm coming up with, like, my only initial idea is to just turn it into a tattoo. That's why I draw things at this point. It's what I do.
And then I mean, I just teased it already, but. And then it came out to look like this, and man, it kicks ass.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get one of these. I don't care which one, preferably a glowy, or I don't know, maybe a Kaiju Live exclusive, maybe in the future. I don't know.
Kaiju Live exclusive.
Maybe.
Oh no.
But you're going to G Fest, correct?
I am going to G Fest. So G Fest again. Me going to G Fest. Me having Kaiju Creams at G Fest is purely an accident, like the best possible accident that could happen. But I was actually supposed to take my daughters this year. It was going to be my first time going to G Fest, taking my daughters, and they had a beach trip that canceled last year because of some COVID stuff, and so it ended up that they're not able to go to G Fest with me, unfortunately. And I was thinking about backing out. I kind of didn't want to go alone, and I also didn't know that my toy would be ready. I didn't know it would be done. I thought that I wouldn't have my blanks in hand maybe till August, or even the end of July. And kind of lo and behold, like the factory got them done, and they shipped them, and they came about 2 weeks ago. And that gave me the decision, like, man, maybe I could really paint these and have them done. Like maybe I could have these done in time for G Fest, and how amazing would that be? And that's what's happening right now. I haven't made an official release of my toy. I haven't made an official drop of my toy yet, and I really kind of wanted to do that, but it doesn't look like I'm not going to have time to paint a whole run and drop them online. Everything I'm doing myself.
I was going to say, you're doing it all yourself, right?
Everything is myself. All the painting, all the assembling, all the packaging, all the everything, all the shipping is going to be me. And that's on top of, it's like I have a full-time tattoo job.
I was going to say, you have a full-time job too, right? Yeah, so it's...
I have 2 daughters, it's like I'm a very full life. I love my life. I have a very full life, but it's a lot. And through this whole project, on the back end, when talking to Last Bastion, Chris especially, I've always been like, I don't want to become kind of a prisoner of this project. I don't want to hate it. I only want to, I don't want to feel trapped by it, or obligated by it.
Yeah.
Eric wants to know. Eric wants to know
Yeah.
how many are you going to have available?
At G-Fest, or in total, or in the future. I can tell you right now, I plan on having about 14 at G-Fest. I have, let me see here, I have 6 of this exclusive colorway. I don't know if you can see it. These are already bagged up. I have 6 of these coming with me to G-Fest that I've already painted, already done. That's my exclusive G-Fest.
That looks awesome.
I have three glows. These are G-Fest exclusives.
Oh, I want a glow.
Dude, that's so awesome, man.
The killer.
That is awesome.
I have a couple different one-offs that I'm taking. I'm gonna try to maybe produce a small run of these. This is a kind of like a hyper color.
Oh, that's cool.
Colorway.
That's cool too. I love all these colors, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And let me see. And then this one won't be there, but this is the original colorway. And so when I do a release, this is going to be the first release. So I'm thinking maybe like early August. That way I have time to get back from G-Fest. I have a couple weeks breather, and I can start painting, because these are a healthy size, and there's a lot to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, some of these have like multiple color sprays on each ice cream, and accents, and so it can take 2 hours to paint.
I was gonna say, on average, how long does it take you to paint them?
When I batch them up, it cuts my time a lot. So if I'm batching 5 or 6 at a time, it cuts my time a lot. But I'm usually doing that in one day. So you're talking 6 to 8 hours to paint,
Oof.
6 toys.
Yeah.
That's a full day of painting, and
now, in regards to that, in regards to the amount of time that you're putting into it, and you're sitting there for hours upon hours, do you ever feel like I'm tired, man, like this is almost too much? Or is it just like you're just going, don't even realize the time has passed?
I'm trained to do so as a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I'm cut from that cloth. I have a client sitting in front of me. They've traveled here from Michigan or something. They want a Godzilla piece. It's a 6-hour tattoo. I don't get to get up and be like, you know what? I think I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
Like, they're not making it back. They spent a weekend on a hotel.
Yeah.
They traveled to me. They're coming exclusively to me, and I've trained myself to deal with that on a daily routine in tattooing, and I approach my painting that way. When I sit down to paint, I want to bang the whole thing out.
Yeah.
And so if I sit down to paint 6 toys, I'm not gonna stop till I paint 6 toys.
Well, that's
if I don't
that's
eat till I'm
dedication.
done painting 6 toys. And I also, I really wanted to put out something that's quality. I really wanted to put something out that, because I'm doing all the painting myself, I learned to paint with an airbrush just so I could paint my own toys. I learned
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Uh,
I learned to paint Sofubi just so I could paint my own toys. I've only been painting hard since maybe March.
And they come out like this. That's amazing.
How much of like your experience as a tattoo artist is carrying over into that? Because obviously, I feel like if I went and picked up a brush, I'd be dog shit for a really long time until like I got anywhere near something that I'd be like, hey, look, guys, this is cool. Like, in most cases, people be like, AJ, just go back to podcasting.
Yeah. AJ, just sit behind me. Sit in front of the camera, all right, bud?
I think there's a lot of, just like I talked before about, like, when I thought about not being able to tattoo, and I thought about what can I use my skill sets in. Like, I didn't know how to use an airbrush. I had to learn and teach myself how to use an airbrush. And when I transferred over to Sofubi paint, it's, vinyl paint is very different than acrylic paint or airbrushing something else. So there's a learning curve, and I wouldn't say that everything that I do is amazing, but I'm so used to using this kind of hand-eye.
I'll say everything you do is amazing.
Thank you. I'm used to using hand-eye coordination all the time, every day, right? Like I've been doing this for a long time. So my learning curve is going to be a lot faster than probably your average person.
That's awesome.
And I think my color theory, I don't want to like toot my own horn. I have insane color theory when it comes to tattooing. I've developed my own color theory. I love color. I love working in color. One of the things I love about painting vinyl toys is blank colors, because the blank color for me always dictates a palette and how I'm going to approach something and how I'm going to attack it. And this thing, it's not just I'm doing several colors, and I have to do them all differently, and I have to get them to look consistent and have integrity every single colorway I'm putting out. It's not even for me.
It's a full-time job
it's a complicated
on top
thing.
of your other full-time job.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No, they look amazing. They really do. Like,
so, can you say how much they'll be at G Fest, or we're gonna save that for G Fest?
I think so. So all my exclusive regular colors are going to be 200.
Nice.
And then I think my glows are going to be 220, and then like one-offs might be a little more, just depending on what I have into them, like 240 to 260 range. But I want to try to keep everything kind of tight, and kind of in that ball. And then when I release my initial colorway, that'll be 200. And I feel good about it.
Just anytime you see the price scoffers, just ignore them. We just same thing with the MonsterVerse Godzilla is the Spiral toy.
I'm a collector. I collect this shit too.
I know. We have a pretty good idea of what these things go for.
We're in a forum, and I see people saying, "Oh, this was $24 at Target or Walmart for a certain toy," and it's like, I'm like, bro, you're just stealing that stuff off of kids. Like, let the kids buy that. You want to collect something, collect something. Let the kids buy that. Because they ain't playing with a $200 toy.
No. Abby tries to sometimes, and I'm like, look, this is how you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn real quick. You just put that away. Touch it.
I told my daughter that anything that's on a shelf, you can point at.
Yeah.
That's it. You can point at it. If it's on the shelf, you can point at it.
These are for display, not for play.
Exactly.
Okay?
Both my daughters have their own collections now.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. You started them young.
That's what I started with Abby. She got some of the D4 reels. That's how I'm trying to excuse that away to my wife. Like, oh yeah, these are hers.
My daughter has started taking her little little Tykes figures, and she's putting them on like the dresser and like lining them up and like
nice.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there she is. She's got
this. Be building Legos in no time.
Yeah.
So since I see Peter is still in the chat, there is a beautiful boy behind you that I believe you just painted as well.
I did. This is I want to just give a second to shout out to Peter, because like a lot of people maybe don't know this about me and my relationship with Peter, but
you tattooed him live.
I tattooed him live, but I can tell you right now that I absolutely would not be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for that man. The very first week I put up any Godzilla flash ever, over 2 years ago, the very first week, Peter contacted me and he said, "I love what you're doing. I don't know who you are, and just don't stop doing it." And
that's
I was
Peter,
going through
he's the freaking man.
I was going through a rough period in my life, at that time, and this dude who I didn't know and he didn't know me, and I was like, oh, he's already got an art career and all this stuff. He was my cheerleader, man. Of all people, like attack Peter to come in and be like, yeah, do it, bro. Like,
hey, man, sometimes that's what you need. You just need one person to say one kind thing and really genuinely mean it.
For sure.
And that really it can save you. It really can.
For sure. And so I had the honor from Peter of painting a blank Takaro.
Wow.
And these guys aren't even released yet, and I said, what do you want me to do? And he said, just do whatever you want. Make it look like a toy. Make it look like Sofubi, like use some classic colorways. And so I kind of did my own take of, maybe a Tokyo, kind of jazzed it up a little bit, gave him some rust on his little pod.
That looks awesome.
I love the scaling too. He's more of like a 9-inch figure, right? More 9-inch, 10-inch.
Yeah. He's pretty big. Let me find something you guys might know.
Your standard.
So he's
marathon. Nice.
Marathon. He's
gonna fit on the shelf. Perfect.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean this. One of the coolest things about this figure, for sure, is like he looks good in every angle because he's got these arms that just kind of like undulate, and kind of like rotate. You can twist them. You can twist these guys all different ways. You can twist his body, twist his head.
That's awesome, man.
Cool.
So cool. He looks awesome.
It's really great.
Is that going to be available at G-Fest? Or? Give the people what they want, man. I don't even think that figure's not even out yet, right?
No, he's not.
Yeah. Peter might be mad about that. I was like, yeah, I'm selling them already, man. What's the problem?
I mean, you want to make an offer, AJ? We can
talk. Anything?
No, I can't say enough. Like, that's amazing work. Like, I've seen a lot of art in my life, and ever since knowing you, you've inserted these toys in my life. And it's amazing. Like, you don't see that every day, and it's very unique. Very, very unique. You should definitely be proud. You should absolutely be proud of it.
And it's funny how I didn't plan for this entire discussion tonight to kind of be back to back, like examples of you will miss all the shots you do not take.
That's right.
Like, just take them.
Absolutely.
Just take them.
If anything, the theme of tonight is passion.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you pour everything you have into something, it comes out.
There have been plenty of times where same thoughts going through my head, like, am I insane? Am I really trying to get an officially licensed Godzilla toy made from Japan? Like, am I of the American Godzilla? Like, is anyone gonna like this? Does everyone feel like OCTEEL and hates the MonsterVerse? Am I the only guy that likes it? You know what I mean? Like, those thoughts like run through your head. Like, is anyone gonna like this? And then you're gonna experience that G-Fence, man. It's gonna be an amazing feeling. Like, when it sells out, and you might even have people like lined up for it. Like, it's gonna be wild.
If they don't sell out, just so you know,
Jessica H would like to know what booth you'll be at G-Fest.
I will be at Last Bastion's booth. I will be with Last Bastion.
Fantastic.
Last Bastion Studios.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
I couldn't have done it without them. Just so you know, like I couldn't have done it without those guys for sure. Every step of the way, and every time I told Chris, I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. He's like, no, you're gonna do it. You can do it. It's great.
You got it, man.
There's been a lot of people in my circle that, yeah, I'm driving a lot of talent, but it's like sometimes you're your own worst enemy, and just like like I said, I want to know what you think, AJ. It's like I want to know what people think, because it's like when you're doing this much work and pouring this much into something, it's you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. When you have a family, you have kids on the line, you got put food on the table.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's I really was trying to do all of this like full time with Kaiju Live and then like this, but there were, because this took you 2 years. For us there was 3 years, and it's like that stuff.
Yeah,
you start to get stretched thin, and then I had to find another full-time job, and it took me away from this. Like, I'm finally just getting comfortable enough again to be able to be like, I have time to have fun again with. Like, I love doing this. This whole streaming thing, like, this is like one of my passion, fun projects where it's like, let's just hit record and do goofy stuff and see what happens.
When record works, yeah.
Yeah, when there's no technical difficulties and everything's working fine, it's great. But, yeah, so it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of, trying to, like you said, not be your own worst enemy, because
that's the hardest obstacle.
I'm constantly in my head all the time too. But it's awesome, man. I can't believe I'm upset I can't make G-Fest to be able to have the chance to get one. And if they don't sell out, you're gonna like post them on Instagram, right? Or if they don't sell out, just please reach out to me instantly, and I will buy it.
Absolutely. People are like, "Oh, they're gonna sell out." I don't try to predict anything. You know what I mean? If they sell out, they sell out. If they don't, they're going online, because there's people that want them.
Oh, there are definitely people that want them.
For sure.
And so they're definitely gonna, they're gonna hit the market.
Yeah, that's the beauty of like how online sales have kind of changed the game. Is like, while you can have the event, and sometimes the event might bomb. 5 Points, for instance. I heard a lot of talk about it really wasn't a good event for some people. And I could kind of see it, like, walking around. Like, you can kind of tell, like, a lot of the tables were full. It was like it didn't seem like people were buying a lot of things. It seemed like more people were just happy to go to a convention kind of vibe, as opposed to, I was super pumped. I got a Shadora, so I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Which Shadora and a Kaiju Cream will, at some point, be displayed together in beautiful harmony. But yeah, it's definitely, online sales just changed it, because now it's like, all right, like, your fans maybe couldn't make that event because they can't afford travel right now, or it wasn't. Then you throw them online and it's like, boom, they're gone. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel with that, and that's one of the best tools now, I think. Being able to reach the world, as long as you got a website or social media page.
It really is. It's a whole new venture for a lot of people, especially like people of our generation. It's become a different way of earning a living, and even beyond that, it's ways like for people to realize, like, I'm passionate about this subject. I'm passionate about this. Maybe someone else is passionate just like me, and you reach so many more people that way, that people are just like, oh yeah, I love this. Oh yeah, this is it. Like, give me that. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah. I have that with the auction show all the time. Like, some people just love Kaiju Live for the auction show. So when I do stuff like this, people are like, well, I don't want to see that. Where's Dad and the toys? And I'm just like,
sorry, I'm not Dad.
I want to talk. Yeah,
I know.
Some people probably maybe tuning in for the first time, like, what the hell happened to Frank?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? For all of you who don't know, I'm one of AJ's very good friends, and he and I have very opinionnted discussions, and we decided to start recording them.
Yeah, basically, this is pretty much, this show is going to basically be like when Evandro and I would go and see a movie and then sit in the movie theater lobby discussing it
for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's just go home and hit record.
Just go ahead and play, yeah.
But so how long are you gonna be at G-Fest? You're gonna be there just the weekend? Is it
I'll be there. I'll be there the whole time. I'm driving out and then driving back, and I don't know. I'm just going to have fun. People are like, go out there and tattoo. I'm like, I don't want to go out there and tattoo.
No, just go enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Take it all in.
The hardest thing is gonna be if I sell any Kaiju Creams, not turning that money back around and just throwing it at everything that's there. Because like, if there's one place where I'm gonna spend money, it's gonna be a G-Fest. So it's just like,
so how'd you do? I broke even.
I buy from those vendors every month, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, I broke even. Oops.
Yeah, I broke even.
No, but it really is like you guys, like, this is so exciting, like, to be able to like see this happening for people, like something you've been passionate about finally comes to life and people actually want to buy it. Like, that's got to be an amazing feeling in and of itself, regardless of making money. It's just like, just seeing something you love come to life.
I mean, I'm trying to make him puke online, live.
You know what? One of the hardest things for me as being an artist, is that, and just like with tattooing, is like I finish and I walk away, because my job is the creating part, and just like with this thing, it's like I paint them. I could paint 100 of them, and I could just sit them in my basement, and I would be okay with that. And like that's the problem. It's like, oh wait, I actually got to do something. Like people actually want to buy it. Like, I know. I already did. I did my job. I made it. It's done.
Yeah,
we're here. We made it.
So like, I kind of in the same thing. Like, so these have been coming like in waves. Like I've been basically getting like a box or two a day, from Japan, and kind of trying to box them up. And it's like the same thing. Like I'm not even really like keeping one for myself yet. Like this guy's kind of been hanging out, because like I still haven't gotten through all of them yet. But yeah, it's like shipping out all of these for everyone else, and it's like, well, when am I gonna put mine on my shelf? Like I haven't even done that yet. I've been trying to. What's that?
Oh, they sold out.
They sold out.
Yes, this guy is officially sold out.
Yeah, it's not yours.
Oh no, don't worry. We had extra in the run, for me. Yeah, you can't. Could you imagine that, making that mistake? Like you didn't make enough.
Oh man, I didn't make enough for me.
I don't even get one. Shit. Like, do you have your own glow?
I was gonna say, do you have your own?
Is there a master glow that's not available at G-Fest? Right? It's got to be.
A master painted glow?
Yeah,
or just a blank? No, I don't have a master glow. I do have a master original colorway. Like wrote on it, first one ever. I don't know where the camera is.
There you go.
Nice.
And like, so this one will stay with me, but I've already done 6 different colorways. So, some of them are one-offs or whatever, because I'm trying to come up with ideas, different ways to paint it. But I was like, oh well, if I was to keep one of every colorway, it's like, then I don't have any to sell at G-Fest. So it's like, I can't do that, It's like,
so the first colorway you chose, are those like your 3 favorite ice cream flavors, or did you just solely pick it based on color palette?
This is just based. This one here is actually based off of the original Flash design. So in the original Flash design, I had like a pink ice cream and a mint chocolate chip ice cream, and then this kind of like brown one in the middle, and kind of more of a classic eye, and then the red cherry. So it's like in silver dish. So I tried to keep this like, if I was to interpret that original Tattoo Flash into a toy, like this is the original version. And I've also thought about not limiting the original colorway, maybe just continuing to produce that in small batches, and then limiting, some of the other colorways and stuff. So we'll see. I have a lot of decisions to make, and
yeah, man,
I haven't made them all.
And it's always nerve-wracking. Like, is this the right decision? Like we had people. I remember seeing on the message boards, because like it took like 2 weeks for this guy to sell out, right? So I remember seeing like one of the, after the first weekend, there was a post like, oh, so how is everyone feeling about this? Like, it hasn't sold out yet. Do we not like it? And I'm like, you don't even have it yet. It's like, wait, you only like it if it sells out? Like,
dude, you talking about internet trolls?
No,
man.
I know, but to me it was like, yeah, like
it's probably some like 10-year-old kid.
Who knows?
It's either some 10-year-old kid or some 50-year-old.
But that's
man.
where it's like those things that you just gotta like not really pay any mind to it. But yeah, it's like,
well, and you're doing bigger runs. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, yeah, exactly.
My largest run is going to be 10.
Well, they're all going to be hand painted by you. I mean,
right.
If all of ours were hand painted, we would have just did
10.
Well, I mean, they are hand painted, but you know what I mean.
Done 10,
yeah. Yeah, no, it's mass production versus literally every figure is literally touched and developed by you. Every single.
That's just an amazing thing to like if I had, I'd be like, yo, see this? This was hand painted.
Like I should make one. It'll be the worst Godzilla known to man.
Hand painted by AJ.
Hand painted by me. It'll be so. I know I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be so bad. I'm like, it's a one-off. Let's go.
Kaiju Live exclusive.
Kaiju Live exclusive. AJ can't paint for crap.
Oh, that kills me. Oh, just sitting here picturing you just going.
Yeah. Like, I fucked up. Just keep going.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
And I mean, that's the thing about that stuff. If you mess that up, man, you are done. You're just done. You know, when you're painting,
you gotta get the acetone out.
9 colors on a figure, like you're not gonna be like, oh, let me just, strip this one section. Like, no, you can't do it. Like, start over.
Yeah.
So before we bring on our next guest, I really wanted to have a big discussion about Singular Point. How much time do you have?
You did? You wanted to have a big discussion? There's not much to talk about because we know all about Singular Point. There's not much to discuss there. I mean, like, let's talk about how much Godzilla's in Singular Point.
He's in it.
We just ended the conversation. He's like, wait, is this show even called Godzilla? Like, what is this called? It's like the origins before Godzilla arrived. Like, come on, dude. It's Singular Point. Like, the only point is that Godzilla's not in the show. Like, that's why it's called Singular Point. I was like,
I sense a lot of passion here between you two about this.
It's so funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was a time where we were just in our when we created the other chat when we had the big tattoo show with all you guys on, and half the time it was just me and Matt just literally busting each other's balls about Legendary Godzilla and Singular Point. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, but yeah.
But yeah. So anything you would like to discuss, sir? Let's show off this.
Where can they find you?
Yeah.
Where can you can find me? The main place to find me is on Instagram, and you can find me under OCTEEL Tattoo, OCTEEL Tattoo, and all of my toys are going to be sold through my Instagram. All the information regarding Kaiju Cream is going to be through my Instagram. If you are into tattoos, if you're into Godzilla design, if you're into toys, I pretty much post everything from my world kind of all through my Instagram. And at this point, it's kind of like a cross-pollination social media. It's like, I might post a toy I painted, I might post a tattoo design, I might post a tattoo I did that day, and I'm kind of taking from the tattoo world and bringing to the toy world, I'm taking from the toy world, bringing the tattoo world, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's kind of starting to congeal at this point, and, I've been doing it for a pretty solid 2 years at this point, of just exclusively kaiju tattoos for the most part. And it's awesome. It's fun. I love every day. I love making toys. I love painting toys. Really, what I found out through this process of learning to paint for my own toys is that that's the part of toys that I'm super passionate about. So recently, I've done some, like I did that paint for Attack Peter. I've done some paints for Mark Nagata. I have 2 other toy makers right now that have shipped me toys to paint for them.
So if I sent you a blank version of this to paint, would you even, or would you like literally, would you just throw it in the garbage? Like,
I would, you'd have to send me 2, and I would send you 1 back.
There's a video of you just setting the other one on fire.
No, if you get a blank in my hand, I will absolutely paint you a blank of that figure for sure.
Awesome, man.
I wouldn't roll around in my dog's poop or anything like that.
It kind of sounds like you would.
No, I wouldn't. I swear I wouldn't. I'd paint it for you.
All right, man. This has been great, dude.
This is great.
I'm so excited.
You know what I'm going to do for you, AJ? I'm just going to cut out images of Singular Point. I'm going to decoupage them all over the Godzilla and then put it like...
He's going to decoupage them.
Oh my god!
Like your 2 favorite things in one place. Like you're just gonna, your head will explode. Promise.
You know what? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Let's do it, bro. I'd do it for you. I'd do it just for you.
Peter says you should definitely paint it.
Yeah, I would paint it.
Well, thank you
for
taking your time and.
No, thanks for having me on. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, man, it's been great, and congratulations on
congratulations.
2 years sticking with it. I think people are gonna love this thing. I think you're gonna have a great G Fest. You might not walk away with any money because you spent it all, but it's gonna be a great G Fest regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, coffee version.
Thanks again for coming.
Thank you guys so much. It was so much fun. Thanks again, AJ, for having me. Thanks, shout out to Attack Peter, Last Bastion. You know, everybody that's supporting me, everybody that's here in the chat. Like, I'm sure I'll go through it and read. But thank you so much. It's a pleasure, and I really appreciate everybody's support for sure.
Awesome, man. All right, dude. Have a good night. Enjoy your 4th. Have a great one. Catch you later. All right, everybody.